This is the Economic Development Commission. It's Wednesday, May 24th, just past 6 p.m. If you hear a noise in the background, it's from a leak. It's coming down to the ceiling. Pretty minor. Okay, we'll start with, we'll take attendance. Michael McMahon.
Serena Fuller.
John Cody.
Amber Bach.
Okay. We'll start with changes in business developments in town. As we all know, there was the annual town meeting on May 16th, Tuesday, May 16th. And several articles were approved, which impact business in town. I'll just briefly mention what they were. If you want details, all the details on the town website, giving you the whole wording of each of the articles. Article 13 was a zoning bylaw amendment to add short-term rentals bylaw. Prior to the annual town meeting, you weren't supposed to have 1 or 2 or 3 night type, less than 30 night rentals. It used to be the Airbnb or Vrbo or similar type company. So that's been added.
Yeah.
Article 14 was a landowner petition to change the zoning at 771 College Highway. This was over near Winfield. For whatever reason, they didn't give a reason. Article 14 was withdrawn at the meeting, so there was no discussion, no vote or anything else on it. Article 17 was to change the basic bylaws for non-medical marijuana retail. That passed. And Article 36 was a little bit confusing to some people, because apparently some groups sent out postcards telling people to vote no. Article 36 is establishing what's called a municipal lighting plant, which means that on paper, the town can create this entity and then hire a contractor. Some of the names have been mentioned: Westfield, Fiber, or Westfield Gas and Electric, or some other company. They haven't opened it up for proposal yet. But what it would do is allow the town to have some competition for internet fiber, which will be brought to every house and business in town that wants it. I mean, it would be on the street and it would be up to the individual property owner if they want to connect to it or not.
May I interject on that
Sure.
for the moment? And they also said that whoever they pick the contract with will offer it to every single resident.
Yeah, it'll be on every street, not just
It'll be,
downtown.
so you have that option, but they want to make sure it hits every single resident, no matter, what end of town, where they are, in business, correct?
Right. So that's what went on basically at the town meeting. Any other businesses or anything in town that anyone can think of? Craig, have you heard of anything new or different, or?
So I think the Dad's Pub is going to, they're offering out boat slips, I believe, right now. So I think they're probably getting ready to start doing something there.
Yeah, there was an article in something called the Suffield Gazette or Suffield Observer or something that they're going to be coming. They got the approval from the state to have a commercial marina, but now apparently there's some squabble or a lawsuit between them and the town in terms of how many boat slips and how close the boat slips can be to that tunnel that gets you from one of the ponds to the next one. And supposedly they were going to be doing some informal negotiations with the town. I don't know how that went. That was supposed to be happening a week ago last Friday, but I haven't heard any results from it. Any other businesses or anything in town?
Not that I know of, no.
as of last week, the public hearing before the planning board was still in effect. I don't know what happened at the last planning board meeting. On the idea of taking 686 College Highway and breaking it into 5 parcels. But again, I don't know if public hearing is continued or if it finalized last week. Do we have any minutes to approve?
Yes, most of you in your packet might have the big stack of minutes that go all the way back to April. Yeah. I gave them January 18th. So those just need to all be approved.
This is November.
Yeah, there are,
January.
yeah, and I had Megan made minutes. But I did not print them because they're gonna be more important to read some of those before we, go.
So which one do we want to start with?
Whichever ones you guys want.
I didn't have, I don't know my.
You want 'em?
No, that's all
No, I
right.
have, I knew that most of you would still have them, so that's why I didn't want to make more copies of all of them again and waste all of that paper.
Totally understand. If you thought we would all be here. Totally prepared.
These are all done.
Oh,
Okay.
Start. No, it's going now. Yeah, I don't know why it's giving me the option. I don't want to press it. 'Cause I don't want to. Yeah, it's doing it. I do have the April minutes.
Okay,
April.
do you guys have yours? We're,
Yes.
okay. All right. It has this on it.
Yes, I have it.
Just leave it on it.
so does anyone have any corrections or? or-
Where are we going? What's the date?
Which date do you guys choose?
whichever one you guys are looking at.
You can, I mean, you can start with the back of the packet if you want. That's the
April.
That's the,
So it'll be April 20th, 22. The only correction I've got to that one is my name is spelled wrong.
And you don't have Serena's last name on it either.
Right.
My first name spelled wrong too.
you can just mark them and then I can.
So it has. It's the very last name. In the packet.
What do you want me to do, Martha?
Yeah, you can just correct it right on there and then you can put them back in your folders and I'll just take them from there.
And Craig's last name is spelled wrong.
No.
Yeah, you can just make the marks of whatever you see and then I'll look at them and.
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of April 20th, 2022?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
All those in favor, Michael McLean, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
oh, wait, I can't second if I wasn't here.
I think you can. I think, yeah, I believe.
All right, so then May 18th, 2022 next.
Okay. Amber, do you want to correct the spelling. of the
Yeah,
last
so
name.
my name is, I made the correction on my paper already, so,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. My last name is spelled incorrectly.
Is it 2022 or is it 2023 that you're approving?
22.
Really? Okay.
yeah, I went back and, because there were no minutes, so I went back and I watched minutes. I mean, I took this position in November, so I just went back and watched.
It'll be caught up after this, so.
Okay.
That is okay.
So do we
I
want
don't,
to, do we want to vote on the May 18th, 2022 minutes?
Yes, I make a motion, accept them.
I'll second.
All those in favor, Michael McDaniel, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Craig Samuelson, yes.
I wasn't a member then.
Amber Doc, yes.
Now, June 15th, 2022.
Are we gonna need to sign these or what?
I'll, when I get the corrected version, the final copy, I'll put it in this book and then you guys can sign it if you want to.
So Michael and Craig. You guys are the only ones at this one.
No quorum.
June
so
15th, 2022, right?
So how does that work? Do we approve those with the next?
We have to still,
When we don't have a quorum, what do we do?
I think when you go over the minutes, as long as you have everybody
approve.
approve, you can,
Okay.
yeah, you can just approve it, doesn't matter who.
All right,
was
I'll make a
actually-
motion to approve the minutes for June 15th, 2022.
Second,
Amber Bach,
All
aye.
those in favor.
Aye.
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 July 20th, 2022.
Seems so long ago. I'm sorry, but the state legislator and the governor have been doing emergency orders because of COVID, you know, it seems a lifetime ago.
And in the meantime, we changed governor.
All right, I know, I know.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll move we accept it.
I second.
All those in favor, Michael, and yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Craig Samuelson, yes.
Amber Bach, yes.
Okay, September 21st, 2022.
Here comes Jack.
Yeah, I can vote this one.
This is where Jack arrived.
Should probably change my name to John, my official name. Okay.
Okay, any corrections? Are we ready to approve September 21st, 2022?
I motion to approve.
Second it.
All those in favor, Michael McDaniel, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Craig Samuelson, yes.
John Cody, yes.
Okay, moving on to October 19th, 2022. Are there any corrections?
What was that? 42 Depot Street, what was that?
That's the Malone property.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It still lists on Realtor.com as a last lead
Yes.
contingent.
Mhm.
Unless, and I haven't checked it since early last week.
I'll move we accept that as written.
Okay, all those, in favor, Michael McMahon, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Craig Samuelson, yes.
John Cody, yes.
Amber Bach, yes.
Okay. November 16th, 2022.
Is there anything on it? Really? A change? There's nothing.
No, it doesn't look like.
I just
it.
have the agenda. Am I missing?
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of November 16, 2022?
A motion.
Second,
All those in favor, Michael McCann, yes.
Serena Fuller, yes.
Rick Samuelson, yes.
John Cody, yes.
Amber Block, yes.
Just piggyback.
Okay. At the town meeting, they approved the budget, and our budget for FY 24, which begins on July 1st, is the 3,000 that we've gotten this year, 3,000 again regular, and they created a second line item, 1,500 for the website.
That's nice.
Nice.
Good.
We got 4,500.
Right,
Good. That's
Good.
nice.
but again, you never know until you get
Right, right.
to the town meeting.
But we asked.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um. We'll probably get a notice from the select board probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, or at least what they've traditionally done. They send it out to all the boards, committees, commissions, whatever. They're not elected by the public, asking people, you want to continue on? If you do, send us a note or something saying, I'm interested in the XYZ board committee, whatever. And then the selectmen act on that sometime between the end of June through July or August. They don't do them all at once because they've got too many things. And they also put some kind of a notice in the paper or whatever on our website, asking if other people are interested in the various boards and committees. If sometime over the summer, then they do their appointments.
they should
Well-
do my idea now.
What's that?
The open house with all the committees and the
That's right.
boards and everything that I've always said, they should, you know. And like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the, you know, Legions, like some of the groups that we have. That, you know, help our town out.
Then do you think we should be doing that?
That's not our, that, I don't think that's our.
No, but I mean,
It should be something if people, you know, they might not even realize that we have some of the, you know, most of the people. They don't know what's going on. A lot of
if
people
if
don't.
people would look at the, in effect, the bound annual report, there are reports
Right.
there from the boards and committees, et cetera. Do we have any public comment?
Ada Hoteling, 45 Plain Road. I want to know if, I know I've mentioned a couple of times about the Ironman coming through Southwick on June 11th. Is the EDC going to do anything with Springfield to be able to circulate the restaurants / eateries? Has anything been done
Can I-
about that?
Can I, ask you, so the Ironman, it's a triathlon, correct?
Correct.
So after they bike through here, then they go swim somewhere, correct?
They're going to, this is the last leg is the biking. So
They-
they'll
they-
have
they've already swam.
Right, and it
Connected
ends in Granville?
It
It
goes
goes back.
through,
Springfield.
it goes through.
Oh, so they're just going up and then passing back through,
Right, they're coming through Southwick.
right?
So there's gonna be an overwhelming amount of people coming to view it.
You think they come here versus the finish line? You think there's gonna be a lot of people here at the tail end of
I
it
don't know, I've
versus
never
the,
done one before, it's never happened before. But they're promoting it out of Springfield and they're letting people know this is the route. One of the things that the bike slippers are going to have to deal with is the curves and the terrain coming down through Granville. So if they're going to have any accidents, and I know it's not a good thing to want to promote, but it's gonna be the hairiest part of the trip. So that could potentially bring people into our community or to drive through it,
I
to
think
watch
you'd be
them.
going from Southwood up to Granville and then going from
They're
Granville
coming
to
from
Westfield.
Westfield up into Granville,
Okay.
then down through
Oh,
South.
yeah, I wasn't
Right.
sure which
Yeah,
direction.
yeah.
Right, so
Um,
there's an opportunity. Don't know, because we've never done it, it's never been done before. But I know that the chambers, I know that the select board had been talking to Agawam as well about how they wanted to promote it. So that's what I informed you folks of a couple of
Yeah.
months ago to see if
And
that was something
mention-
that you could
Have the
piggyback on.
selectmen said anything?
Not that I'm aware of. No, so, but that was just an FYI to let you folks
Right.
know. To then
There was,
tap into them to say, how can we help promote Southwick through whatever venues you're doing?
there was an article 3 or 4 weeks ago in the Republican talking about the Greater Springfield, Visitor and Convention Bureau or whatever it's called, which the member, entity, it's mostly members around Springfield. The article quoted the executive director as saying that she had been in communications with the various towns. I didn't know if she talked to the selectman's office or not, or if they were at all involved. Because
Right.
I'd say nothing.
Diane Gale, Five
Sure.
Point Road. I did come a couple of months ago to the select board just to kind of advise them they were going to be asking if it was okay that they were going to be coming through here. It was part of the route. Talked a little bit about their emergency crews would be there. And basically just get permission from the select board, okay, can we come through? And that was it. It wasn't really about the event, it was about the route, can we hold it? As far as I recall.
do you, either of you ladies know, are they gonna come through is this gonna be an annual event?
No idea.
Or is it a one-time thing?
No idea.
I think it's the way that I've interpreted by the articles, if it's a success,
Yeah. It might be
then it
annual.
could be a great venue.
So we
because
would
of-
probably have to, I'm just thinking out, if it's gonna be annual, kind of get an idea of what is going on before a ton of, stuff is done and put through to them. If the select board is doing something for them and, we should probably ask that too.
Right.
And
We-
then
we-
see
we-
what
we-
they're doing to promote and if we can tap onto that.
Right. We could have copies of the restaurant list. I had that at the yard show last month, 150 copies were distributed.
So let's propose that to the select board, if they wanna, because they'll know who the coordinator is and everything, and if they wanna send a copy of the restaurant list to
Because
add in.
if the people are gonna be going up Granville Road, go up to Granville, then we could probably make a deal with John Wally or somebody to have like a tent or something in his back parking lot, just so we can have the restaurant list. So visitors from out of town wanna watch the race, that would be a typical place they would probably end up parking. So we could just hand them the restaurant list.
Well, what my proposal was a couple of months ago was to connect with the select board after that one meeting that they had shared with us, that they were talking to the event coordinator about emergency services. So obviously they're in contact with them to see if
Sure.
there is a packet that they are doing at Springfield, which that would have been the opportunity to have said, okay, for Southwick, this is what we have available for eateries.
And they can add it into the packet.
That's
Right.
what that was what I was hoping could potentially happen,
Mhm.
was to be able to piggyback on
Okay.
whatever Springfield was coordinating to the visitor and convention center.
I think that's, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
understand.
And then it doesn't leave us standing there.
Nope.
Maybe nobody comes by, maybe they're just
Nobody's
riding right by. We don't need to
Nope.
hope
Right.
or wait. It just gets off to the riders. For the triathlon.
But I think as both of you were mentioning, this being kind of a new activity for this area. I feel like at the Boston Marathon, or something, I didn't know, do people park and watch it or?
So they do,
Are
they
they-
do, and they'll do it at different, if they're doing like, cause it's a triathlon, so like, you have so many racers, maybe somebody's watching them at one point,
Right.
for one part of it, and then another at
Like
another
the Tour
part
de
of it.
France.
So we don't really know like where, what's, cause we've never experienced this, so I don't know where people are gonna
Yeah, that's.
hang
why I
out the
was asking
most. So
which
that's,
way they were
so
going.
this would be, I guess, to throw in their packet, they usually get like a little, sling bag or something like
Right.
that, to, when they register, right? I would assume,
Yeah, I would think so.
Mhm.
and it can be thrown in that, so when they're looking at through all their paraphernalia,
Mhm.
that's in there.
So do you anticipate there's any kind of a website that we could latch onto or tag with what's available or not really? I don't know how you get this out to the folks that are watching otherwise.
I would think you would have to start with the convention center in Springfield and say, I know you're coming through our community, but this is where I believe the select board has already had conversations with them.
Right, so
So that's where, that would have been the point of contact, would have been the SB. To then say, hey, from an economic standpoint, how can we help promote? This is what we have, how can we put it forward?
so, yeah, so let's ask them and see if we can piggyback off of whatever they're doing as well.
Okay,
I wonder if Wilderness Experience has anything to do with it as far as,
well, both them as well as the bike shop, I have no idea.
yeah. Well, I didn't mean, yeah, the bike shop, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer to see how,
Yeah.
how involved they might wanna be.
Right.
But that was, you're getting close to the window. I mean, June, this event is
Right.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming up in a few weeks.
Right.
Right. Okay, I can, I can check with Carl, also check with the Convention Bureau in Springfield. Cause I
And-
saw the article in the Republican.
Michael, I'll help, if it's agreed, I'll help, I'll pull them, and if they're in boxes or something, I can deliver them to whoever needs to get them for you.
Yeah, I'd be willing to help too. Not a problem.
Yeah,
Also kind of going along with that, as mentioned a couple of people. The May 15th issue of Business West had a nice article about the expansion of Wally Computer, the 80,000 square foot. I'm talking about some of those things. Typically with Business West, I don't know where they get their basic data from, but they always have wrong data. It says, for example, median household income in Southwick is 52,296. If you actually go to the Census Bureau, that 52,000 is actually 100,337.
So my recommendation with that is I would call and ask for a retraction. And that
yeah.
we get also some additional press with some accurate information.
Right. I put in a request 10 days ago. I was willing to buy the rights to this article, which is what I've done most of the last 8 or 10 years. And the request, it's being done electronically now rather than talking to somebody. But I did talk to somebody yesterday and they said, oh, we'll check with the person who does the art and graphics to see if he got your request off the website. And I'll check with the office managers and see if she can pay. So it's kind of informal. I mean, it was much better prior to COVID, but then with COVID, the office, almost everyone was working remotely. So things the last few years have been,
can I just backtrack for 1 second? I'll stop by next week and just let Wilderness Experience in the bike shop, make them aware that
Okay.
this is coming through in case they don't know already. So
Cause it
if
would
they,
sound
if
like,
they wanna promote it some way for
Right.
themselves.
cause it would sound like the bike shop,
At the very least.
they might be
want
the
to be able
source
to
for
service
emergency.
Right,
repairs.
exactly, exactly. They could, you know, yeah, the bike shop might wanna actually, yeah, that's a good idea. We could-
They may be more up to speed than we are.
Huh?
They may be more up to speed than we are, so. we can
Yeah,
figure
they
out-
probably, I would assume they would already, yeah. Yes,
I had to step out, sorry. I was gonna ask you to perhaps ask the select board if you're going to be asking me questions. If there is going to be any parking in town set aside, where that may be where you want to plan some of your restaurant flyers.
Right,
And I don't know if there is any, if it's like
Yeah.
school or
or it could be,
Wally Carr.
the back of- well, the Southwood Inn or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have no idea if there's parking
Right.
set aside anywhere. So,
Yeah,
and the select board's not meeting next Monday, FYI.
well, that's all right. We can,
So it'll be
Good
short
home,
notice
otherwise.
to get an answer.
yeah, they're just questions, so it's not like we're asking for permission for anything, so I'm sure we can get in touch with somebody.
I assume that's a Saturday.
They're gonna get spectators.
The first is a Thursday, so it might be a Sunday.
The 11th, yeah, the Sunday.
Is it Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Okay,
Like the trial and go all over. They
okay.
go all over.
I know.
So does anyone have anything else? Greg,
I do.
Jack,
Nope, just hopefully we drum up some business with the Ironman competition, because you think about if people want to observe and see the end of the race, you would think Southwood would be one of the last stops that you would go to if they're heading back to Springfield.
Amber, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Serena?
I'm good.
Okay. So I think, we're basically done.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we with the website? What's,
That they'll be developing that over the next couple of weeks. We got our purchase orders in, so the money's allocated. And we'll be getting some new signs and stuff to use this year's money. And some of the signs we're gonna have will be like in blue, heading people when you're down at Depot Street and when you hit Beacon Hill Road, feeding you toward gas, food, shopping, similar to like the state signs. In fact, I saw a sign today and I said, gee, that was quaint, it made sense 20 years ago. This was on 91, but it doesn't make sense today if you put up new signs. It was food, phone, and gas. Well,
You don't need a phone.
you'd be hard pressed to find a state sign today versus that, of course, was popular 10 or 20 years ago. With that kind
Dan
of
has
thing.
a question.
On those signs, are you going to point to farm stands?
I can't,
Want to be recognized as businesses.
yeah. One of the challenges we've learned over the years is you have to have the print large enough so that you don't have more than about 6 lines on a sign, because if you do, it's so small, you're gonna be almost on top of the sign before you can read it. But I can try to get that in there.
Yeah, can I, farms, I mean, I'm good with that, but I don't, I'm like thinking there's other businesses too, so.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
food, gas,
yeah,
you know, that kind of
I
thing.
think they kind of cover the food thing, right?
It's not gonna cover food.
Well, it's not gonna cover a hairdresser, it's not
Well,
gonna
no.
cover, you know what I mean, we can't.
If you say food, it's not gonna cover a farm stand.
So plants?
Farm
Plants,
Farm stands,
so you wanted to say farm stand,
I think that's what they would like it to say.
who's they?
The farm stand,
Oh, I know, but then what about a hairdresser or a coffee shop or something like that? They're gonna. We gotta be careful with all the. It's food, so what are we doing now? Food, drink, gas,
Yeah. And, just added in farm stand. Just based
Okay.
on,
Can you use like symbols?
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
yeah, we can try to, but as I say,
Yeah.
the signs are 24 inches across, 36 inches deep, so it's whatever you can fit in.
So
there
rather than
without
people
having to-
driving and reading something, yeah, if is there like a universal symbol?
Yeah,
Farm stand?
Yeah, for farms.
No, a tractor's not gonna tell you you can buy produce there.
Like a fruit basket
but we can,
for vegetables?
we can try to get that,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Flowers
that,
and a fruit.
that's good, I hadn't thought of farm stand. Do you represent the Ag Commission tonight?
No, I'm not,
No.
I'm here, I'm telling you everything I've heard in the master plan, in the Ag Commission, in the Ag Forum, in the small business meetings, all of it.
Yeah. Okay, we kept that.
So are is the Ag Commission not allowed to put up farm stand signs? Like signs to point towards farm, I'm just saying,
This is where it would come from, this is economic development.
right, but I'm just thinking we're also for everybody, so I'm just thinking if they wanna put one too, wouldn't they be allowed to put one too? Like a farm stand, like if a hairdresser or somebody, I'm just bringing it up because there's a lot of different
I think they would
businesses.
come to you and ask the economic development to help
Okay,
develop that economy.
okay.
So how many signs are there, Mike, and where are they going?
I'll have a sign down at the corner of Depot, this typically with a lot of like motocross with their big nationals, they're typically coming down from Legion, heading down toward Depot, they're heading over to Feeding Hills Road. We can have another one crossing the mobile station, but that's where they typically are. And then pointing out gas, food, farm stands, etc.
So who are we trying to reach then?
It's the people on those special weekends, the motocross nationals, it's this, marathon thing.
They do multiple events at 338. So it would
It-
be,
it-
it would,
and-
it could be
and-
utilized for any of those.
In the
High
fall,
traffic
they do that
events.
mudder event.
The Rugged
September,
Maniac or
October.
something.
Rugged Maniac.
Rugged Maniac.
It's those 3 or 4 big events where you've got people who've probably never been here before.
And so
Yeah,
like when they're
that's
coming
right.
out of there, they direct them right or left, and so at the end of those
Right.
areas, it would kind of just point.
Just think of a highway exit.
Would they
Right.
stay there? Would they be permanent signs?
No. We
Pick 'em up.
can't do that.
They're those little sandwich board ones.
Yeah.
Right,
okay.
it was just for that.
Yeah.
That day or that weekend, depending on what the event is. So anything else? Or do I hear a motion to, end the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
All right,
Michael, yes?
Serena, yes.
Greg, yes?
Jack, yes.
Amber, yes.
Okay.